I'd say there was a 4-month season that was the perfect storm of like just immense difficulty and pain. It started with so this is April 2022. So this is right after we had just closed our Series B round. We were coming off of a lot of growth. We closed it in December 2021. This is like right as the economy is slowly starting to turn. Long story short, my co-founder and Zari and I were just two peas in pod, yin and yang, whatever you want to call it. But like we worked really well together. We challenged each other. We had just such a deeply aligned vision and a deep friendship. But she had gone through a year of immense personal struggle. I won't go too deep into it, but just I've never seen someone suffer like that on a personal level. And she was she had to move back to Pakistan, which is where she's from. And so she was working like US hours from Pakistan. And basically a year in to that, just a year of just immense pain after immense pain, she was like, I just can't do this. Like for my own mental health, like I need to like get back to be myself. And so at the same time, we'd grown super, super rapidly. And we never really, we had amazing founding technical talent, but we hadn't really had like a true, what I would consider like CTO, head of engineering. And there was a hire I made that I rushed. And long story short, we'd grown really quickly. We'd started bringing on all these amazing logos. And we also started having performance issues in the product. There were two. There was one, one of the ways that we deliver our solution is via Chrome extension. Chrome extensions are incredibly thin products. And, with Chrome changes and stuff, and like at the time we didn't have the level of observability that we needed. And like some of those like basic things that really help you prevent those, we started having performance challenges. Like, and you're talking like 1 to 2 second delays, but to a rep who's using us every day, right? If you're slowing down your screen, I mean, it's detrimental. So like, and we just couldn't get to the bottom of like what the heck was happening. At the same time, as all of our efforts were going towards this and this other product that we launched that was just like not a success, never should have built it, but became like huge piece. Basically, all of our technical talent went towards solving that. And over time, a bunch of bugs had grown. And we had been so focused on growth. I had been so focused on growth that I had like removed myself from our support channel. I'd remove myself from some of our meetings because I was so focused on like marketing and, growth and revenue and customers. And so I used the product every day and I felt some challenges, but I didn't appreciate just how much like small little imperfections had grown with my focus on like, well, let's just innovate. So we just hadn't focused on like the core of the products enough in those years of trying to like grab market share. And so here we are, it's April 2022. We're having really challenging product issues that no one can give me answers to. I didn't fully appreciate the challenge. At the same time, my co-founder is like, I have to step away. It didn't have anything to do with Spekit, but Spekit was just like the last thing, it was consuming her. And so that was just like a really hard time, like emotionally, because I'd really seen us go into the end together and having to inherit like just like such a challenge that like I didn't know where to start and I wasn't getting answers. And I now had to hire a CTO. At the same time, it's now May, June. I'm like in it with our technical teams trying to solve it. I'm flying to Dubai because half of our team is US based, half of our team is in Pakistan. I'm trying to get everyone on site. Same time I'm trying to interview, and the economy starts changing. And we had investors that were like really early on. Kraft is one of our investors, David Sachs, who wrote, the whole like burn model, et cetera. All of a sudden there's a lot of pressure from our board to say, hey, because we'd closed our Series B December 2021. We'd had, all the classic metrics. We had like 160% retention when we raised our Series B. We had like 4x year-over-year growth. So we were like growing like crazy. Everything seemed great on the surface. So we had like hired against that plan that everyone had approved. So we had just hired, like way too fast, but like 40 plus people in those first like 4 months to try and hit this continued 3-4x growth rates. We just hired all these people. The team were having growth challenges that naturally come with that. And now the board is saying, hey, valuations are dropping. Things need to look very different. And so in June, after I'd like sold everyone on this vision, like we had like such great team spirit despite the product challenges that we were having. And honestly, I don't think to our customers they were as pronounced, but to me they were. Because it's like you see your baby.
Of course they are. Of
baby
course.
party, and it's just, and now like I was like very intimately familiar with everything that was happening. And basically like we had to do a layoff because the plan that we'd hired all those people based off of the trajectory of the company looked like it was going to be different based on the markets, the valuations that we had raised on and like what we were to expect in the future had changed. And so there was just dynamics, and that just between Zari stepping away, plus the product challenges, plus having to do a layoff to phenomenal people that we just brought on to the company and some people that had been on the team for a long time, it just felt horrible. Horrible for our culture, horrible for the team, the people that were impacted. And it took a long time to recover. So we went through like a period of pain. And I know a lot of other companies did at the same time, like, everyone.
Pretty much everyone.
Well, I know that. But when you're going through it, it's so hard for it not to feel like you're.
Well, you still have to go through it.
You have to go through it. And it feels like it's like only, your situation is so much worth. To your team, it feels like this situation is so much worth it. And we did do it before other companies did it because we're very proactive, which looking back, thank God we did because it, set us up to be in a really strong financial position, to this day now, 2-3 years later. But at the time it felt like, wait, we're seeing a few people do it, but like, why are we doing it this early? And so it was a great decision that I would not have come to that conclusion myself. And I think that's where the board, even though at the time I frankly had a lot of feelings of resentment and stuff, because I'm like, you approved this plan and got on board. Like, let's just kind of like wait and see. That was an area where I would have just made a mistake as a founder to delay that decision. Did it course correct enough even at that time because I was so protective. But anyways, that was really tough. And yes, there was a perfect storm of other challenges that happened that I won't get into on the people side, but it was just, that was a hard season.